Work on the 2034 Winter Olympic Games has officially begun. State and Olympic officials named a 25-person organizing committee led by committee president Fraser Bullock, former House Speaker Brad Wilson, and Utah business executive Steve Starks.
The organizing committee will be tasked with ironing out the final details like athlete lodging, solving transportation issues, organizing cultural events during the games, and that list goes on. Utah Governor Spencer Cox says having strong leadership is vital for the success of the games and the enduring legacy for Utah.
It is 9 years, and that clock keeps ticking. There's a lot for us to do, and we have the right team in place to get it all done.
And tonight, our chief political correspondent, Lindsay Aerts, has the leadership team right here in the studio with us, and we will send it over to her. Lindsay.
Brian, Sarah, thank you. Tonight we have with us Fraser Bullock, who is the executive chair and president for the 2034 Winter Olympics, and former Utah House Speaker Brad Wilson, who is the CEO. Bullock has also led the efforts to bring the games back to the Beehive stage. And Fraser, of course, you will handle sort of the international relations of the games, and then Mr. Wilson, you will handle sort of the day-to-day. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Okay, so the committee is formed. What do we do now? What are the biggest rocks that need to be lifted as we approach the 2034 Winter Games here in Salt Lake?
Yeah, well, you know, thanks for having us, Lindsay. We appreciate being here. And what a magnificent day for the state of Utah. We celebrate today the amazing work of Fraser and the bid committee and getting us the opportunity to host the 2034 Winter Olympics. And they're going to be great games. But I'll tell you, we're a really unique place because we could probably host the games next year if we wanted, unlike a lot of places around the world. And that's because of the great work that's already been done. So we have an interesting opportunity ahead of us. And for the next 3 years, we're going to really try to get ready in an interesting way. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to go around the state and listen to people, try to find out what they're looking for in the next Olympics, and try to find out how they want to be engaged. And lastly, I'll just say this. We think there's a really unique opportunity for us to engage our kids. Hosting the Olympics is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we want to engage them in ways that are interesting, let them get to know Olympic athletes, and really also do something we think is unique, which is build a pipeline of athletes for our Olympics that we will host here for the world.
The state of sport is what I keep hearing.
That's right.
Utah is being called. Fraser, so we do have some major infrastructure needs, though. We've heard talks of double tracking front runner. We've heard talks of air taxis. We've heard talks of all these sort of major lifts. Our downtown revitalization, how do those factor in as now you have the committee that's going to get to work here?
Well, fortunately, we have all the infrastructure in place today that we need, including our marvelous venues. However, we can make things better. And when I think about air taxis, I say 9 years out, 2034, anything's possible. So we want to be a catalyst for what our state wants to accomplish. Our state and communities, just like Brad said, we want to go on a listening tour and say, what are the key priorities that not only could help the state, but maybe enhance our games? And with that, then, we can be a catalyst to those efforts. That's what we want to do. And
to that effort, where the games are happening largely along the Wasatch Front, how do you touch those communities in St. George and southern Utah, the rural communities, Grand counties? How will they be involved in the games?
Yeah, we actually are in the process of creating a 29-county strategy for Utah so that whether you live in Grand County or Summit County or Salt Lake County, you're engaged as a community, as children in our schools, and we'll be rolling that out over the next couple of years. So we just say kind of stay tuned.
Okay, we're also not only the state of sport, we're also a volunteer state, are we not? I know Tennessee takes that name, but we have a lot of volunteers here in Utah. Fraser, it might be too early to ask, but people are going to want to know how they can volunteer for the games.
Well, I got to go back to 2002 because we recruited 24,000 volunteers. We put an ad in the paper that said, hard work, long hours, no pay, better hurry.
Sounds like news. Let's do it.
And we had 65,000 people sign up. And so we're encouraging, we do have a website. We're going to stand it up even more, Facebook page, things like that, where people can register. Because it's not just volunteering for the games in 2034, which is fantastic, but there are going to be lots of opportunities along the way with World Cups, because one of the opportunities that games provide is the opportunity to bring people together, to build unity in our communities. Everybody loves the games, so let's get together and utilize that enthusiasm and volunteer interest to be able to do something special.
As we look to the Olympics in Cortina, in LA, in the Gold Coast, and then again, and then here in Salt Lake in 34, what lessons do you look to take from those games before we get to Salt Lake?
Well, we will absolutely engage with those Olympic partners. We'll be in Italy next year to learn from them. But I just kind of remind everyone that America is hosting 2 Olympics in the next decade. And it's been a long time since we've had that opportunity. So we're going to be working closely with our partners in Los Angeles to help collaborate with them and make sure that they have successful games, because it's important that we work and do this together.
Brad Wilson, CEO, Fraser Bullock, president of the new Salt Lake Organizing Committee of the 2034 Winter Olympics. Gentlemen, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Brian, Sarah, I'll send it back to you. Looking forward to 2034. I don't know about you, but I'm counting down the days.
Okay, an exciting next few years,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Lindsay, thank you very much. Hey, gearing up for a